Ever feel like drowning in spreadsheets?
Oh, yeah.
Manually updating data.
Uh-huh.
Like it's the 19th century.
Totally.
I'm talking soul-crushing tasks.
Yeah.
Sales reports, inventory tracking, sending the same email over and over.
Ugh, tell me about it.
Makes you wish for a magic wand, right?
Oh, for sure.
Well, guess what?
What?
That magic wand exists.
No way. Great.
Hiding in plain sight.
Where?
Inside Google Sheets.
You're kidding.
Nope.
Wow.
It's called Google App Script.
Oh.
Like discovering a secret superpower.
Inside a tool we probably use every single day.
Exactly. Today's deep dive.
Yeah.
Turning your workflow from manual to magical.
I like it.
And we're using this article, From Manual to Magical. Automate your business workflow with Google Sheets and App Script. It's our guide.
Awesome.
Now, I'm decent with Sheets, but coding, not so much.
Yeah.
Can a non-techie like me really handle this?
Absolutely. Google Apps Script. It's a cloud-based JavaScript platform built right into Google Workspace.
Gotcha.
So you don't need to download anything.
That's good.
And learning it, surprisingly simple.
Really?
Even with basic JavaScript knowledge, you can start automating tasks,
Wow.
especially with all the great documentation and support Google provides.
That's a relief.
Okay.
So we've got Sheets, we've got this App Script thing. What makes them such a dynamic duo?
You can think of it like this. Sheets is your canvas,
Uh-huh.
and App Script, your set of magic brushes.
I like that.
You're not just crunching numbers anymore.
Yep.
You're orchestrating them.
Interesting.
You get simplicity. Everything happens right in your spreadsheet. Power, access to tons of Google services like Gmail and Calendar. Plus, you can even tap into external APIs. And of course, automation, which frees up your time and mental energy for the things that really matter.
So it's not just about working faster.
Right.
It's about working smarter.
Exactly.
Speaking of smart, the article mentions Clara, an online boutique owner
Oh, yeah, Clara.
who was drowning in manual tasks.
Sounds familiar.
Her inventory management, a nightmare, seriously.
It's a classic story.
Right.
Entrepreneurial growing pains.
For sure.
Every sale meant updating stock levels, logging transactions.
Oh, I can imagine.
And if something ran low, she had to contact her supplier manually.
So tedious.
And prone to errors, of course.
Exactly. How did App Script transform Clara's inventory workflow?
She created a script
Yeah.
that automatically updates stock levels.
Every time a sale happens.
You got it. But here's where it gets cool. The script also automatically notifies her supplier.
Automatically?
Yep. When stock dips below a certain threshold,
Oh, wow.
no more last-minute orders or disappointed customers.
That's proactive, like having a built-in inventory assistant.
Right.
And it gets even better. The article mentions App Script can automatically generate and email daily sales reports. Who wouldn't want that?
Absolutely. Imagine this. You wake up every morning
Okay.
to a beautifully formatted sales report
In my inbox.
in your inbox, detailing everything.
Right.
From total revenue to top-selling products, no more manually pulling data, formatting cells, or writing emails. App Script does it all for you.
Okay, you've sold me on the concept, but can we break down a real example so I can see this magic in action? Like, how does that daily sales report script actually work?
Of course. The script itself, surprisingly straightforward.
Okay, good.
It uses a few key functions to pull data from specific cells in your sales sheet, formats it nicely as an HTML table, and then sends it off to your email using Gmail integration.
Okay, walk me through that code snippet.
Yeah.
I see things like get range, get values, and send email.
Yeah.
What are those all about?
Get range is how you tell the script which cells to look at.
Yeah.
You basically give it coordinates,
Okay.
like A1 to B10.
Got it.
It grabs the data from those cells, then get values, pulls the actual info,
Like the numbers.
product names, sales figures, and finally send email, packages everything up, and sends it to your inbox.
Wait, so just a few lines of code can replace hours of manual work?
Yep.
That's incredibly efficient. It makes you wonder why we're all still doing things the old way.
That's the beauty of automation. And this is just scratching the surface. Once you grasp these basic building blocks, you can create scripts to automate all sorts of tasks.
Like what?
Sending personalized emails,
Why?
generating invoices, or even updating social media posts.
That's mind-blowing. So we've covered how Apps Script streamlines those everyday spreadsheet tasks, even handles some pretty advanced inventory management. But the article also mentions integrating with external APIs. I know API stands for Application Programming Interface, but can you explain that? Like, I'm 5?
Think of APIs as messengers,
Messengers.
allowing different applications to talk to each other.
Oh, okay.
Let's say you want to pull real-time currency exchange rates into your spreadsheet.
Oh,
Or maybe fetch live shipping data from a courier service.
right.
That's where APIs come in.
So Clara, using APIs, could automatically adjust her international pricing
Yeah.
based on the latest exchange rates. Or proactively notify customers about delivery status.
Exactly. The possibilities endless. For Clara, she could use a currency exchange API to pull in the real-time data, eliminating manual lookups and calculations. And for shipping,
Yep.
there are APIs that let you track packages,
Wow.
retrieve delivery estimates, which she could integrate into her order management system.
This is feeling like a whole new world of spreadsheet superpowers. It's amazing that you can connect your spreadsheet to all these outside services and data, but with great power comes great responsibility, right?
Always.
And some challenges, I imagine. The article did mention a business owner named Sam who ran into some roadblocks.
That's right. As you start automating more complex workflows and dealing with larger data sets, you might encounter some limitations.
Like what?
Script execution times, daily quotas.
Yeah.
This is where the concept of efficient coding comes in.
Okay, so it's not just about writing code.
Yeah.
It's about writing smart, efficient code. What did Sam do to overcome those challenges?
He had to learn some optimization techniques.
Oh,
He started using something called batch processing,
what's that?
processing data in chunks instead of one row at a time. This speeds up scripts, especially when dealing with tons of data.
So instead of sending 100 individual emails, he sends them in batches of 10.
Exactly. He also minimized calls to external services.
Why is that?
Those can be a major performance bottleneck. By carefully designing his scripts to reduce those calls, he managed to stay within his quota limits, keep his automation running smoothly.
This is really making me rethink how I approach my work. Before, I was just trying to survive the data deluge. But now I'm starting to see how I can actually control it, even manipulate it to my advantage. But before we get too carried away with all this automation magic, I think we should take a step back.
Okay.
Talk about security. After all, we are dealing with sensitive data. What does the article say about keeping things safe and secure?
Security is paramount when it comes to automation,
Uh,
especially when dealing with customer data, financial records, and other sensitive information. The article outlines some key security best practices
Okay.
to ensure your scripts are powerful and responsible.
Let's dive into those in more detail. But first, a quick recap. We've talked about Google Sheets and Apps Script, how it can automate tasks, from sales reports to inventory management, and even integrate with external APIs for even more possibilities. We also touched upon efficient coding
Right.
to avoid roadblocks as your automation scales up.
Exactly.
Now, as we head into the next part of our deep dive, we'll explore those crucial security considerations so you can automate with confidence, knowing your data is safe and sound. Stay tuned.
We'll be right back. Welcome back. Before we get carried away with all the possibilities Apps Script offers, let's talk about responsible automation.
Responsible automation.
Yeah, it's like having superpowers. You need to use them wisely.
Okay, I like
Yeah.
it. Wise use of spreadsheet superpower. So where do we start with security when we're using AppScript?
One of the fundamental principles is least privilege.
Least privilege.
Giving your scripts access to only the data and services they absolutely need to function.
Okay.
Remember those oath scopes we mentioned?
Vaguely. Remind me what those are.
Think of oath scopes like permissions.
Okay.
When you connect AppScript to other Google services or external APIs, you need to specify what your script is allowed to do. For example, if your script only needs to read data from a spreadsheet, you don't give it permission to edit or delete.
So it's like setting boundaries for your script. Kind of like telling a toddler, you can play with these toys, but don't touch the expensive vase.
Exactly. Limiting those permissions minimizes the potential damage if your script were to be compromised.
Makes sense. What are some other ways to keep our data safe when using AppScript?
Another important practice is data encryption.
Encryption.
For highly sensitive information, you should always encrypt it before storing it in a spreadsheet or using third-party encryption services.
So even if someone got into the spreadsheet, they couldn't make sense of the encrypted data without the key.
Precisely. It adds an extra layer of protection for your most sensitive info. And speaking of access, the article also talks about access controls.
Access controls.
It's all about who can do what with your scripts and the data. You can use app script to restrict functionality based on the user's identity.
Okay.
So only authorized people can access certain data or perform specific actions.
So if Clara has employees, she can set it up so only certain people can see financial data or edit inventory information.
Exactly, different levels of security clearance, right?
Right.
And speaking of sensitive information, let's not forget about those API keys.
API keys, remind me what those are for again.
Remember how we talked about APIs as messengers, letting different applications talk to each other? API keys are like secret passwords.
Right, okay.
They authenticate your script with those external services.
Got it. So if I'm using a shipping API to track packages, my script needs the right API key to talk to that service. But where do you store those secret passwords safely?
Never, ever hard code your API keys directly into your script. That's like writing your PIN on your debit card.
Not good.
Instead, use a secure service like Google Cloud Secret Manager.
Google Cloud Secret Manager. Sounds serious.
It is. It's designed specifically for storing sensitive data,
Yeah.
API keys, passwords, that sort of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Your script can retrieve them securely when needed without exposing them in plain text.
Wow, so we've got layers of security here. We've got OAuth scopes setting boundaries, encryption for our data, access controls to limit who can do what, and a secret manager for our API keys. Sounds like Google has really thought this through.
They have. And the best part, all these security features are built right into the Google ecosystem. Makes it pretty easy to implement them.
Okay, security protocols, check. The article also teased some pretty futuristic advancements in workflow automation. This whole AI and machine learning integration thing has me intrigued. Can you elaborate on that?
Imagine embedding AI directly into your spreadsheet.
Okay.
Like having a data scientist on call. We're talking about scripts that not only track sales, but can forecast future trends based on historical data and external factors.
So instead of just reporting on what happened last month, my spreadsheet could tell me what to expect next month.
Exactly. And that's just one example. AI-powered scripts could help you do all sorts of things.
Like what?
Optimize pricing, personalize marketing campaigns, even automate customer support tasks.
That's amazing.
It's a whole new level of intelligent automation.
Okay, I'm sold. What else is on the horizon for Google Apps script?
The no-code, low-code movement is gaining momentum. Even those of us who aren't hardcore coders will be able to use automation. Google's making app script more accessible to everyone.
So more intuitive interfaces, pre-built templates, drag-and-drop functionality, things that make it easier to create and manage scripts without needing a computer science degree.
Exactly. Democratizing automation, as they say. It's about empowering everyone to work smarter, not harder. And let's not forget about seamless integration with other platforms. We're already seeing integrations with services like Slack and Zoom, but expect even more cross-platform compatibility in the future.
So I could have a script that automatically sends a notification to my team's Slack channel when a new order comes in. Or maybe one that schedules a Zoom meeting directly from my spreadsheet.
Absolutely. Break down those silos and create a truly integrated workflow. And there's one more exciting thing I want to mention, advanced triggers.
Advanced triggers, what are those?
Right now, you can trigger scripts based on events like opening a spreadsheet or editing a cell. But in the future, we might see triggers that respond to changes in external databases or real-time data feeds.
So a script could automatically adjust pricing based on fluctuations in the stock market, or send an alert if a competitor changes their strategy.
Precisely. The future of automation is about being proactive, responsive, and intelligent. With Google Apps Script leading the charge, it's going to be an exciting ride.
Wow. From automating simple tasks to AI-powered insights and real-time triggers. It seems like AppScript is constantly evolving. It's inspiring to think how these advancements can transform the way we work and live.
It is. And it's just the beginning. As tech advances, the possibilities for automation will only grow.
All right, listeners, we've covered a lot in this episode. We've delved into the world of Google Apps Script, explored its potential for automation, and even peeked into the future of intelligent workflows. But before we wrap up our deep dive, we want to hear from you.
Yes.
What are your automation dreams? What tasks would you love to automate with AppScript? Share your thoughts and ideas in the comments below.
We want to hear from you.
We're excited to see what you come up with.
Absolutely.
Now, for the final part of our deep dive, we'll circle back to the key takeaways
Okay.
and leave you with some parting thoughts to ponder as you embark on your own automation journey.
Sounds good.
Stay tuned. Welcome back to the final part of our Google Apps Script deep dive. Phew, we've covered a lot of ground. From the basics of automation to AI integration and those advanced triggers.
It has been quite a journey, hasn't it? From little scripts saving us minutes to those that could change entire industries.
Exactly. But with all this talk about the future and possibilities, it's easy to get overwhelmed, right?
Oh, for sure.
So let's bring it back down to earth. What's the core message? What should our listeners really take away from this whole deep dive?
I think the key is to embrace the journey. Automation isn't a destination, it's a process. It's learning, experimenting, refining. Start small.
Okay.
Pick a task that's bugging you and see if you can automate it with app script.
Like that annoying sales report, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Once you see that first success, you'll be hooked. And remember, you don't have to be a coding master to get started. Google's made app script pretty accessible for everyone.
Right, we talked about all those resources.
Yeah.
The documentation, templates, even drag and drop stuff.
Yes.
Plus, there's that whole online community
Ready to help.
to help you with any problems.
Absolutely. The tools and support are all there.
So all you need is that curiosity and that willingness to just dive in.
That's it.
Start small. Embrace the learning curve. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Sounds like a plan. But before we go, I want to go back to that thought-provoking question from the article, the one that asks, the future belongs to those who can harness automation. What will your automated future look like?
It makes you think, right? It pushes us to look beyond just the boring tasks and really see how automation can transform things, our businesses, our careers, even our lives.
It's about getting our time back, our energy back,
Great.
freeing ourselves from those soul-crushing tasks, and focusing on the things that actually matter.
Being more creative, more strategic, having more impact in everything we do.
So listeners, we leave you with this challenge. What will your automated future look like?
Think about it.
What problems will you solve? What dreams will you chase once you've got the power of automation in your hands?
We want to hear about it.
Share your thoughts, your aspirations, even your challenges in the comments below. Let's build a whole community of automation enthusiasts.
Yeah, let's support each other.
Inspire each other on this journey.
Exactly.
And remember, the future of automation, it's not set in stone. It's being shaped right now by those who are willing to explore, to experiment, to push the boundary.
Push the boundary.
So go out there, embrace the power of Google Apps Script, and create your own magical automated future. Until next time, keep diving deep.